I guess when you look at the big picture here, too, I mean, the key here in going forward is to make sure your team stays sharp, and you don't know how many days you might have off here before you begin the Eastern Conference Final Series here, Dale. I guess the saving grace might be the fact that Belleville looks like they're going to wrap up with Sudbury here very soon, so maybe you won't have as many days off as perhaps you might in a worst-case scenario.
Well, I don't know. We'll probably end up with a week here anyways, but actually for us it's not a bad thing. We've had three guys out of the lineup here the last couple games, key guys. So they'll have time to heal and get back for the next series.
Tell us about missing Ryan O'Connor, too. He was the kid who got the 10-game suspension. I know Scott Lawton got a 5-gamer, it looks like, towards the end of the series with the Generals. Give us a sense of how you've kind of made up for the loss of O'Connor.
Well, you know what? We've kind of made sure we had a little bit of depth all year long, and all our players knew that, and we knew at different times that we were going to make sure that everybody was playing enough that if we ran into issues, as we got into playoffs, that guys could step in and do the job, and players have done that, especially very noticeable the last couple of games. We lost a couple of our top scorers and key face-off man and penalty killer, and the other guys came in and stepped in and did a great job. And even on defense, Ryan O'Connor's a big part of our defense. Plays a lot of minutes, plays power play, but the guys have come in and stepped right into his role.
The Barrie Colts last night completing a 4-game series sweep of the Oshawa Generals at the General Motors Center. And as such, Barrie moves on to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they'll play Belleville or Sudbury. Right now, the Bulls have a commanding series lead on the Sudbury Wolves. Every time I watch you guys play, Dale, I mean, Aaron Ekblad seems to get better and better. He's got a tremendous future, and obviously he was a kid that stepped right into the spotlight with you guys, of course, when David Branch granted him that special exemption to start as early as he did. Tell us about his development here and how good he is now and where you think he might end up down the road.
Well, he was good. I remember watching him play minor midget, and he was a major bantam at the time, and I think it was around December, and that was my first year in Barrie, and somebody was asking me if they should let him in for exceptional status, and I'm saying, well, he could come in and be one of my top 4 today, and this is when he was a major bantam, and you knew he had something special, and when he came on board, he not only is a great player and he works hard at his game, but he's a great team guy too. And I think he's got such good leadership qualities that way. But what he does on the ice, he's like an octopus out there. You want to get around him, you got to take the long way. And he's always chipping pucks up and changing the direction of the play so fast. He supports the rush and just reads the play well, and big body that clears the front of the net. So he does so many things so well, and obviously going to bode well for his future.
Dale, you had a lot of success in junior hockey, to say the least, playing for the Cornwall Royals and Memorial Cups and that kind of thing. Do you look at the kids these days, and are you amazed that a kid at 15 and 16 might be a little bit further along, a little bit more mature than maybe you were even at that age?
Well, I think, you're always a product of your time, and, I think things have changed quite a bit, in the last 20, 30 years, and these kids, they play the sport year-round. Their conditioning levels are, way up there, so they're obviously going to be better, and, it's just, as a human race, we seem to be getting bigger all the time, and so you're starting to see a bigger player, but the bigger players now are so much more agile and have way more mobility, but and he's definitely one like that. For a big guy, he moves so well, and at times, you think, oh, he's a little awkward and that, but he's, he's still, we forget he's only 16 years old, and he's playing top minutes. He's been playing top minutes against, 20, 21-year-olds here for 2 years.
He has been impressive. DaleHawerchuk, Hockey Hall of Famer, head coach of the Barrie Colts, joining us here on the Lachlan Show, NHL Network Radio on Sirius XM, broadcasting all across North America. And Dale, obviously, you've had a long-standing relationship with the Winnipeg Jets. That's where I think you had your best National Hockey League seasons. And, you know, it's ironic, of course, that Brian Little went to Atlanta and is now, of course, with the Jets in Winnipeg. And you've got the Burmistrov thing with the Colts and the Jets. And, of course, Scheifele will be a star for years to come with the Winnipeg Jets as well. Not surprisingly, Mark Scheifele is leading the way up front for you guys during this postseason run so far. Tell us about him coming back from the National Hockey League. When many thought that this would be the season that he would stick and play the full campaign with the Jets, it didn't work out that way. But clearly, based upon his production, it doesn't seem like he's come back to junior hockey sulking in any way, shape, or form.
No, that's not in his mentality at all. He loves the game and loves to practice, loves to get better, and he's definitely a force, at the junior level now. And he's a dominant player at this level. And I think Winnipeg drafted him, in the slot they did, hoping that he would be a dominant player in the National Hockey League for them at one time. And I think now that he's been able to do this at the junior level, that this experience will bode well for him, trying to take that to the next level. Sometimes we take these kids high in the draft and we bring them along so quickly, and if they haven't been real dominant they've been good at junior, but if they haven't been totally dominant, then how are they going to know how to do that when they get to the NHL level? And I think this has been a good education for Mark Scheifele, and he'll take this moving forward.
DaleHawerchuk joining us here for a few more minutes on the Lachlan Show on NHL Network Radio. I always laugh when people ask, who would you rather play, Belleville or Sudbury, that kind of thing, because it's not as if a coach is going to step out and provide bulletin board material. But I'll ask you, though, about the two squads here. Belleville's about to move on, we all think. But tell us about how you played against the Bulls and how you played against the Sudbury Wolves this season, Dale, and the potential matchup or matchups that might come up here.
Well, I don't dwell on it too much because through the course of the season, you have so many different lineups and against teams, whether it's injuries, suspensions, and the same for them too. So, but you have two teams, Belleville loaded up at the deadline, and Sudbury moved some of their older guys, and well, for one reason or another, the young guys came in and it really gelled their team, and they caught on fire at the right time. So they get two different types of teams that way. But obviously, once you get to this far in the playoffs, no matter who you're playing, they're all good teams and they're all playing well.
Just going back to the recent priority selection draft last Saturday, you guys selected a kid by the name of Matthew Kreis with the 15th overall pick in the first round. What have you been told about him, and what have your scouts said? And tell us about this kid here and what he projects to be, do you think, down the road?
Well, I've seen him play quite a few times. He's a shifty player and play very intense. Plays hard both ways and has a good, great compete level. And the future bodes well for what he brings to the table. He's a kid that looks like he's driven to succeed.
Well, we look forward to seeing him. We look forward to seeing you guys as well in the Eastern Conference Finals against either Belleville or Sudbury, which will play itself out here, obviously, in the next day or two. Dale, congratulations. Thanks very much for joining us here, and best of luck in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Appreciate it.